Salutations! I'm gonna do this quickly before we have an esteemed house guest over. It was an unexpected visit, but unexpectedly pleasant. So yeah, that's put a spring in my step. We're gonna do a little read, and also I had some new rings that I purchased, and I was really attracted to blue, light blues in particular, sky blues, light blues. And I wasn't really sure why I wanted a howlite. Sorry, it's not my middle finger. But the color really attracted me. It's kind of turquoisey. And also this one here and this one here, which are both Larimar, I think. Oh shit. Anyway, book's falling off my lap. But I looked up what howlite is for, because I didn't really know. I sort of just let the crystals tell me, hey, you need me. And I looked up howlite, and it was, to calm an overactive mind, which is perfect because that's exactly where I've been lately. Very overactive, always overactive, but like particularly like, freak out, it's all going to end, kind of jump out the window sort of vibe. So yeah, it's good because also I've had panic attacks, and blue is helpful. Anyway, I also have this piece of selenite that was given to me in the package for the crystal. So without further ado, without raving on more than I need to, let's hit a page. Okay. What does everyone, and myself included, need today that is helpful? Okay. Attachment. Oh, attachment. Whoops. What's the book we're reading? Give yourself a fucking lesson, Leah. Embrace detachment. Okay. Detachment lesson 122. Accountability, ours and others, is the hallmark of detachment. Letting others be accountable for themselves means we are relinquishing our need to assume responsibility for those actions and situations that clearly are not ours to manage. Sorry, my brain's not quite here. Hang on, let me read that again. Letting others be accountable for themselves, yes, right, means we are relinquishing our need to assume responsibility for those actions and situations that clearly are not ours to manage. Right. The attraction to be overly responsible is so great, however, and what makes it even greater is our lack of trust in any outcome we aren't part of. My God, I'm really not absorbing this right now. My head is somewhere else. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Let me try. Okay. The attraction to be overly responsible is so great, however, and what makes it even greater is our lack of trust in any outcome we aren't part of. Okay, so there's the control freak stuff again. Yes, of course, thinking we know how to do it better than someone else, or that, if someone else doesn't do it our way, then they're going to be screwed, and, it's all going to go to shit because we are God, aren't we? Anyway, we sometimes have this false kind of, not false God, but like, I don't know. I'm saying the wrong thing now. I was going to say we're all gods, but in terms of God complex, like we all, okay, not with, oh my God, do you see what's going on with my brain today? I'm okay. What I was trying to say is that sometimes we can think that, our opinion is like God, is like above everyone else and above everything, and that, we're the only ones that have the answer, which is absolute fucking nonsense, because everyone has their own answers according to their individual perspective and their experience of life. It's not our, responsibility, or, whether that's us imposing on someone else or someone else looking to us for that responsibility to take care of things like that. No. We each have to be sovereign to our own responsible selves. Right. I'm going to use the selenite wand now to point at you and to keep going. Okay. Our fear about our future seduces us into thinking that if we could only ensnare our partners in our own very special web, taking responsibility for their lives along with our own, we'd be secure. Because mummy or daddy knows best, whichever role you're putting on there. But as I've said, we cannot be even moderately responsible and attentive to our own very specific work if we are focusing on the work someone else is here to do. Same lessons being told in different ways, but it's good. It's drilling it back home. We can work in tandem with others, yes, and in many instances should. But crossing the boundary between us that needs to be honored, but crossing the boundary between us that needs to be honored will eventually imprison us. Yes. Listen to Selenite Wand Lady. Okay. Learning how to be accountable is like learning any trait. Most of us aren't born with a natural inclination for it. Yeah. But modeling, unless you're a people pleaser and a very anxious attachment person, you'll take everything on. But yeah, anyway. But modeling the behavior of those people among us who seem to be peaceful might be one way to learn it. Yes. I know that I myself watching, for instance, my father is kind of a role model to me. He, came out of a difficult addiction that he had for many, many years, and he's been sober for a long, long period of time, and he has such a gentle and beautiful nature, and he's funny, and he's like, he's like kind of like a Buddha. He's wise, and he's intelligent, and yeah, I love the way my dad views the world. He's got quite a stoic sort of philosophical approach, and he tries to impart little sort of lessons and wisdoms to me. He sends me videos and quotes and passages of writing that he thinks that will be helpful to me at any given time, and he's very inspirational to me. And anyway, that's probably why I'd say he and my eldest sister Gabriella, why I like sort of soul searching and doing all the seeking, philosophical, intellectual, scientific, esoteric stuff. I think we're peas in a pod. But anyway, so yes, those people are very helpful, and hopefully you have some that are close to you, whether they're friends, family, whatever, or even someone you watch online who is a good example of that. And they're real people as well. They're not like these gods. They're relatable. Okay, so I'm going to start that paragraph again. Sorry. Learning how to be accountable is like learning any trait. Most of us aren't born with a natural inclination for it, but modeling the behavior of those people among us who seem to be peaceful might be one way to learn it. What we will see, with careful observation, is that letting others be wholly responsible and accountable for themselves appears to make folks feel good. Yeah, because they get to learn the lessons, and then they get to integrate it without you kind of ruining that lesson for them. You know what I mean? Like, you could be a part of the lesson in the interaction, but let them resolve it themselves. That's how you integrate and heal, really. Deciding we want to feel good is one of the most sensible reasons for adopting this practice. Yeah, because others' baggage can weigh us down if we're not careful. Again, we can be there in tandem as a support, but let them take their journey, let them do the healing work. It's much more worth it than having it fed to you on a silver platter. Otherwise you end up one of those narcissistic, rich people who have everything and who've never had to suffer or work for anything. Who'd want to be like that? I'd rather be a broken, on the way to like continually integrating the lessons and the learnings to become a wholesome, well-rounded person, right? Being accountable builds self-worth. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel that's happened in a really steady way for me over the years. It helps others to be able to trust us because we seem like wholesome, integrated people, right? Who take responsibility and accountability. Letting the people around us become accountable is one of the best gifts we can give them. Our doing for others what needs to be done by them will stunt their growth. Yes. Tick. Let's not be guilty of that. Big tick. And I know I do interject quite a bit, and I certainly have today. I think it's also to help me understand exactly what's being communicated here. But Selenite 1, thank you very much for driving the lesson home with your angelic, high vibrational energies. Detachment lesson 122, I will stop raving and chewing your ear off. and let you get on with your weekend if you decided to watch now. And yeah, I go prepare for my guest now. Okay, mwah, lots of love. Take care.